This is the people that were invited to this were ninth graders, 10th graders, and 11th graders, right? And there might be a 12th grader or so on here. I don't know. With that said, I want to be very clear. And I've talked to a lot of college coaches just in the last couple months. If you're a ninth grader, I think it's great that you're on here because all ninth grade parents and players should understand that grades at this stage of your life is very, very important because there's statistics out there. I used to be a teacher 20 years. I don't remember all the statistics, but there's a big statistic out there that basically says the way you start your ninth grade career is what sets the tone for the rest of your high school career. So grades are very important. Okay. All those that are in 10th grade. So when you're in ninth grade in the recruiting process, your focus should be grades and becoming a great lacrosse player if you really want to play in college. So honing in on your skills and getting better at lacrosse. When you're in 10th grade, there's a little step up. So John Knowles on here, I know from my team. I think that's it. But if you're in 10th grade, 2027 grad year, you should be really focused on school. So getting good grades. Parents will be happy with that. You'll get into you'll have more opportunities at school. Maybe you get academic scholarships. I know I would love that for my kids because I wouldn't have to pay as much. Colleges are pretty expensive these days. But as a 10th grader, focusing on grades and then starting to research colleges, which is what Sports Recruits does really well. IMLCA does really well. And hopefully Dylan will touch base on how he used Sports Recruits to research colleges. So researching and getting like a list of 20 or 30 schools that you think sound pretty daggone cool. And then when you become a junior like Dylan, so Dylan's a really like stud face-off guy in MDLL for our 26 select team. He'll probably speak, and Dylan, please speak about like your college experience, what colleges you're looking at and stuff. But like that list of maybe 20 or 30 schools that you researched as a 10th grader are starting to get a little smaller, right? Now that 20 or 30 is down to 15 or 10 schools, right? Through your junior year. And then at the end of your junior year, that 10 or 15 becomes like 5, 4, 3 schools that at the beginning of your senior year, maybe you're going on campus visits, like official visits to check out the school, maybe even sleep over at night. Okay. So every grade is important. Ninth graders don't have access to Sports Recruits. However, some of our 10th grade and 11th grade. So all the people that are on here are people that I invited, or that the people that I invited are people that actually have access to Sports Recruits. So with all that said, I did play around with Sports Recruits myself, Dylan, today, because I wanted to not look too silly and not understand what I was doing. There's some things that I found that were really cool, maybe a couple things that were a little quirky, but I would like to just kind of give the reins to Dylan, and Dylan, we can spitball this and people can ask questions. So by all means, as Dylan's talking, feel free to ask. I have the chat box open. So if there are questions as Dylan's talking, ask your questions and I'll pause Dylan at an appropriate time, and then Dylan can answer it or I can answer it. So Dylan, without further ado, why don't you introduce yourself, talk to us about kind of where you are in your college journey, what schools you're looking at, and then share your screen. I'll tell you how to share it if you don't know how, and let's dive in and see how you've been leveraging Sports Recruits. So thank you for taking the time, Dylan.
Thank you. My name is Dylan Kivett. I play for MDLL. I'm the faceoff guy, and I play midfield for the 2026 team. I go to Demetha Catholic High School. I started since sophomore year, and September 1st was a couple weeks ago. I got three text messages at 12 and 3 calls. I got one from Mount St. Mary's, VMI, and Loyola. Here, they're all pretty local. And then I'm going on 2 visits, one to Mount St. Mary's and one to VMI. And then
so Dylan, you mentioned on September 1st you got text messages. Why September 1st?
So September 1st is the first day D1 schools can contact you of your junior year.
So a Division One
would be on, I think June 15th is D2 and military schools for junior year, and then D3 can contact anytime.
He nailed it. I don't even have to repeat that. That's perfect. You did more. Well, I won't even say it. So Division 2, they can contact you. What'd you say, Dylan? Because you were right. June 15th, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So on September 1st, you got 3 text messages from D1 coaches. That's awesome. Congrats, first of all.
Yeah. Thank you.
And how did those coaches know that you were interested, or did they not know and they just reached out to you because they saw you?
September 1st, you get messages or calls if you're their top 3 guys. And like for my position, like face off and goalies, they don't take that many. So I know, so it's normal for them to get calls first because they're trying to get their specialty guys first. So they text their top three guys and call their top three guys, and then if you're not a top three guy, then they'll wait for and if their top three guys don't commit, then they'll move on to the other, and that's when you get calls later.
Any
But
question?
any question.
Go ahead.
And they don't really know if you're interested. They just send you a text and see if you're willing for a call. But I would suggest you always take the call, even if you're not interested, because they have connections too.
Now, here's a question. Did you ever reach out to Loyola, VMI, Mount St. Mary's prior to that?
I never reached out to Loyola. I was surprised that I got a call from Loyola, but I didn't reach out to VMI either. My coach has reached out to Mount St. Mary's because he played there, and that was it. I haven't contacted Mount St. Mary's before.
Maybe Coach Toomey texted you, because I texted Coach Toomey a bunch of times over last month. We're trying to get MDLL to go to a practice at Loyola and have Coach Toomey talk to us if it's allowed for a Division I coach. So be on the lookout for that, everybody. I actually texted him again this morning to see if he can get back to me. He's been a little busy. So do you know how to share your screen, Dylan, on a Google Meet?
Yeah.
So take us through, if you can. You've already done a lot. So just so everybody knows, I'm an admin, so I can go in there and I can look at all of our teams. And I have an activity thread that will tell me, like, Dylan emailed this coach, John Knoll did this, Johnny Moreno did this. And like, I'll be able to see all those. Again, if somebody wants me to reach out. Now, Dylan, are you allowed to email a Division I coach before September 1st?
Yeah, you can email any coach you want before September 1st. They just can't reply to you unless you have a specific question about like a prospect day or the campus, and they can answer a question like that, but they can't answer like any personal questions before September 1st.
So any player can email a college coach, Division I, II, or III, whenever the heck they want. It doesn't have to wait till September 1st. However, college coaches, before those two dates, Division II is June 15th, end of your sophomore year, summer of your junior year, and then September 1st is Division I. At that point, college coaches can actually entertain conversations with you about lacrosse. Prior to that, college coaches, and we all know it because we probably get a million emails a day, parents and players, that say, hey, prospect camp this, play day this, tournament this. So college coaches can always email you all about prospect camps and things like that they do, but they can't say, hey, John Knoll, I know you're only a sophomore in high school, but we really like you. They can't do that. But John Knoll could certainly email them, which is where sports recruits can certainly come in play. Correct, Dylan?
Yeah, it's a big plan.
All right, so go ahead and share your screen. Yeah, so I can see it. I'm hoping everybody else can see it. So if you can take us through like the buttons at the top, but like the things that you used at Sports Recruits, and kind of train us up on like quick ways to research colleges, because I was doing that today. That was a lot of fun. How to email coaches, how to make a college your favorite, so it's in a favorites place.
Yeah, so right now is your activity feed. This is like you can see any coach that or any school that's viewed your profile. So I've got a couple that viewed mine today. And then if you scroll down, you can see people who committed. But and then like it just shows all recent stuff for your class. And then if you scroll up here, back up, you can choose like what schools you want to favorite. I favorited like every single D1 school, but you can do whatever one you want because that just
That's on the left-hand side
as well. Pardon?
Yeah, so on the left-hand side where he's hovering, see that little heart? That's how you favorite a school, and then you can always dive in there and learn more.
Yeah, so if I was to click into like Mount St. Mary's, what's it loads? It would show me the school, all their commits. I don't know how many 20, like it also shows you what positions they need. So they need a 26 faceoff, 26 midfield, and then all those positions. So if it has a green check mark, that's even better for you. And then you can go to right here if you want to email that school or message that school. and that has all the coaches there. But it already has their emails there for you, and you don't need to like look them up. And then as well as it has your sports recruit linked with your pinned YouTube video or whatever YouTube video you have last if you don't have a pinned one. But
So
I
go ahead.
I use messaging a whole lot. I mainly message on recruits, but you have to be careful with recruits because sometimes, for I was told by a college coach that sometimes like their school Gmail is so strict that it might go to their spam or trash. So I would also email them separately on Gmail as well as like Sports Recruit. Like if you email on Sports Recruit as well as email, I would say just following up on my IMCA email so they know that you sent them a Sports Recruit email through that. And then you can save if you don't want to if you want to save your draft, you can do that as well as you would email. And then you can go back to where you just were, activity.
Dylan, does it tell you? I only ask because I have software that tells me if a person opens the email. Will it tell you if a coach opened the email or not? No.
No, it doesn't tell me on my end if
Okay.
it was open.
Okay.
But right now you can see like schools that contacted me. I have 25 schools that contacted me and 74 viewed them. And then another thing is you can go to college needs, like their roster needs. And you can do what schools need. So I fill my position as a midi and face off. So you can go to schools that need like a full match of midi and face off. And if I apply the filters, it shows every school that needs a face off guy. And I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
And then you can do that for any position as well. I just have that for mine. So if I want to go Adam State, I would click on Adam State and then I can email them or favorite them. And then you can do potential match. And they would even have even more. And then
Question.
you can do
Yeah.
pardon?
Yeah. When you click, if you look in the top right where Dylan's now, the location, all that, see where it says schools in the top right, you can research the schools based on those filters. So go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, I was just about to say you could like if you want to go to a certain area, you can put your location in. You can put all the academics in, like ACT scores, SAT scores, how much like how large the school you want to be. You can select it off majors, athletics, and then roster needs, and then you can do them all at once, which I think is pretty cool.
So to piggyback off that, Dylan, I put in there like my son does. I mean, he's a 10th grade. He doesn't quite know what he wants to do. He mentioned at one point being an elementary school teacher, right? So I put in location. I clicked on the location thing and I said, the zip code's 21012, and I want to be anywhere from 100 to 250 miles away. And then I went into major and I typed in elementary ed, and it literally spit out like 44 schools within 250 miles that were Division III programs. So that's where I really think 10th graders can really leverage sports recruits, really start researching your schools and getting an idea. When you click in a school, do you mind clicking in a school again real quick, Dylan?
Yeah.
The cool things about that is it will tell you, it has things at the top that you can click little tabs. Try again. Did it not go?
You can go to athletics, or it's the same thing as you were on the search. So if
Yeah,
I
we'll
was
just
to go to athletics,
oh, sorry. Where's athletics?
like I just clicked on it and you can see their athletics, their school, and then their missions, and it shows that for every school, and it shows the
You're
cost.
so it might be me, but am I wrong? I can see your face,
Oh,
Megan. Is it frozen? I don't see
yeah,
the
nah,
I don't.
I'm only
Yeah,
sharing
now I
one
can
tab.
see your.
Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
click on any of those now. I can see it now. Click on a school again.
Alright.
So it'll tell you like how much the school. That's what he was talking about. Athletics, school profile, admission, cost. Tells you how much the school costs. That's a big one for my family. I don't know if it is for you all on here or that might be watching this, but $55,000. Hey, maybe I can do that. It's got the different majors and all that stuff. So things to think about. How far away do you want to be from home, players? right? Like I went to St. Mary's College, everybody, and I said this on the last when we were talking to Frostburg. St. Mary's College of Southern Maryland was an hour and a half away, maybe an hour and 40 minutes with traffic. That was far enough away for me getting away from my mom. I love you, Mom, but I wanted to be away from you. But it was also close enough for me to be near my mom. So if I needed mommy, I could drive home. Like that was important to me. Other things that you should think about when researching your major, right? Like if you know your major, especially Dylan, do you know what you want to major in yet? No.
No, that's one of the things I have to find.
So major might be a really big one. I know a kid on Dylan's team, Nick. Nick wants to be a marine biologist, right? So he's looking up majors for marine biology. St. Mary's has a good biology program. So knowing what major is always a plus. It's not necessary. But another thing to think about, and I hear this from some of my parents, and I'll say this, I don't mind saying it, but I've talked to some of my parents. They're like, "Oh, my son wants to go to one of these two schools, and they're both major D1 schools." And in the back of my head, I need to have that conversation. Like, are you a major D1 player? I was a really good lacrosse player, but I wasn't major D1. Like I was looking at University of Maryland, but I knew if I went to University of Maryland, I'll probably make the team back in the early 90s when I was in college. But like, even if I make the team, am I ever going to step foot on the field? I don't want to go to a major D1 school if I'm never going to be on the field. Right. So you got to think about that. I boiled it down, Dylan. I'm curious what you boiled it down to, like your schools, but and I know you're still probably not 100% sure, but I'm curious what your list looks like. But like when I was a senior and in my junior year, I boiled it down to St. Mary's College or Salisbury. I could have played at both. I went to campus visits. I really liked the atmosphere and the vibe that I had at St. Mary's College. I knew that I'd play probably right away. I went to St. Mary's College and I was a standout midfielder for all 4 years, never stepped off the field. I mean, I was on the field all the time. So you have to ask yourself, you might be a person that wants to go to a Division I school and you're totally fine sitting the bench for all 4 years. I wasn't that person. You might want to go to a school. Another thing to think about, because Dylan, I saw it in the filter, was like how big the school was, right? Like St. Mary's College, guess what? We didn't have a football team. We had rugby, ultimate frisbee, and lacrosse, like soccer and field hockey too. But like there wasn't a huge atmosphere. That's one thing I do miss. Like if I went to a big school like University of Maryland and seen football games with 100,000 people would have been pretty cool. Dylan, like just curious, do you mind sharing? Do you have any preferences, like size of school, how far it is away from home, and things like that?
I don't really have a preference. The one thing I do know is I don't really want to ride the bench all 4 years, and that's like a big thing for me. Like I kind of want to
Yeah.
play when I get there. So when I like that's why I'm looking at like lower D1, lower end D1, because my coaches have had talks with higher, but I don't want to like just be there and just ride the bench.
And you have to be careful, everyone. Like I would name school. I could name a school in Maryland that's a Division III powerhouse, and they say you're going to start, and then you go to that school, and next thing you know, you're like trying out with 50 other freshmen for a spot on their varsity program, and you go into that school and you're like, oh, I thought I was going to start. I thought I was going to be on the varsity team. So you got to be careful and do your due diligence. And I think it's totally fine to ask a coach when you get to that point, like Dylan's almost at that point where it's like, hey, where do you see me? Do you see me playing my sophomore, junior year? Do you not see me playing ever? Like I want to play. And that's okay to have those conversations with those coaches at that time. What else, Dylan?
So for the communication, I saw a question. The communication, it's personal. I can go to one of my messages right now. Uh, so Brian, I'll show you. So Brian, I can go activity. Brian looked at my profile, and I sent them a message because so every time someone looks at my profile, I would send them a message, and yeah. So they send me a message, and then I can view the message, and then this is what I sent to him. I was saying he looked at my profile. I sent him we have the Chesapeake Cup, so I sent him the Chesapeake Cup, and then I sent him my fall schedule for the Matha. It was just basically like a something that like what I'm doing soon, so you can see me play soon, like instead of watching me play over like YouTube or something like that. And then this is what I got back, like a prospect day invite. So they already have their guy committed now, but it's personalized. It's not very. And then also The app itself, the website itself has like meetings you can go to, so I'll share. So as well as this, it also sends out emails, so where you can like get help with personalized college messages. I joined this one, and it was like it showed you in detail like what the do's and don'ts to send to a college, like college coach, what type of college coaches you should be sending to. Like for a face-off guy as me, if they don't have a face-off coach, I would probably email the defensive coach and the assistant coach, because those are the guys that handle face-offs if there's no face-off coach. And then another cool thing about IMCLA, I don't know how much you guys use your email, but I use my email a decent amount. So everything that goes through IMCLA also goes through your email and text message as well. So if a college viewed your profile, then you can just click on your email or text and see right away. And then
That's pretty.
as you get more like views, I would email them right. Like if you see it, I would email them right away. Like for Bryant, let me see, they looked at my profile at 9:56, and I stayed up till 10:30 just sending them a quick email. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just like, thank you for looking at my profile. Here's my upcoming schedule. Please let me know if you can attend. And then also with IMCLA, you can go to your videos or profile. I'll go to my profile. And like it just gives you a quick rundown of who you are. Like it tells you your GPA, your weight, your height, what position you are, your school, and it also has all your videos. These are I have all my highlight videos up there, but I also have a lot of videos. These are every single video from the season. It's just a lot of
How
videos.
do you how do you get those videos, Dylan? Is it through Huddle?
No, our team actually has a videographer.
Okay.
So so our team videos the games and then sends us to each player to study.
Okay. Just so everybody
And
knows,
then
so have you ever made your, before I say this, have you ever made your own highlight video, Dylan?
yes,
What do you use for that?
I use. Let me see the app. I use Vin, but a lot of people use CapCut. I heard CapCut was really good and really easy as well.
Yeah, my daughter made a video on CapCut. I was so impressed with the other day. So CapCut is an app on your for your phone. Is that right, Dylan?
Yes.
CAPCUT. Okay. And then for some Huddle, some high schools use Huddle and you have access to Huddle. I know my 27 team has access to Huddle and you can build highlight films off of that. With highlight films, is there any advice you'd give, Dylan, about what should be in that highlight film?
So I was told from I don't know if this is, so I'm a face-off guy, so mine's a little bit different than an attackman or defensive. But I was told from a college coach, like if I go for my club, I was told to like put your stats, like the main stats that you want them to see right away. And like that's for face-off guy, that's their win percentage off the draws, like how many goals, how many assists, and then you don't want it to be that long. Like you want it to be like 3 minutes, 3 minutes 30 seconds at most, because they're not going to have a lot of time. And college coaches don't sit there and watch all 5 minutes of your highlight reel. I was told that they watch the first 30 seconds, and if it's good enough for them to watch the first 30 seconds, they're going to watch the rest of it and send you an email. And that's something I kind of like live by my highlight reels. I try to put everything that I find most important in the first 30 seconds to make them keep watching. And
So
I
with
wouldn't
your
just put,
no, keep going. You're awesome.
and then I wouldn't just put like for attackman, for example, I wouldn't just put like the goals in the first 30 seconds. If it's a really good goal, yeah, I would put the goal, but I would mainly put like a riding clip or you setting like a good like assist, because college coaches know that you're attackman, you're probably going to be able to score. They want to see you do other things as well as like ride in the first 30 seconds. And then I just have a lot of videos because I just like my each game. And then you can have a personal statement. Mine's like I would say mine's simpler than others guys. Other guys get really in depth, but that's my personal statement. If
Can
you guys
can
want
you
to read
share
that,
that?
man.
are you able to share this profile page with the coaches, or is that what they get when you email through Sports Recruit? Do they get like the actual link to this page, or how do you share this page?
Oh yeah, so when I email coaches through the website, it automatically this pops up. My first page automatically pops up. So as soon as as if they click on the email, this pops up with the email. So they see this no matter what. If you're on IMCLA, now if you're on email, you should include the link to your IMCLA because I'd say it's very good resource.
And where do you find that link?
If you email a school, so if I go to here, messages, and then I'll go to Bryant.
Can you do us a solid and find the link and put it in the chat box? Are you cool if all of us are able to look at your profile so we can kind of see what a good profile looks like?
Yeah. So, well, I can show it right now. It's just I said. Yeah. So when you send a message to IMCLA, it automatically
Your profile
has the
link.
link right here.
We'll put it in the chat box anyway, so people can save it to their favorites and show their kids at a later time. First of all, I'm going to pause you, Dylan, and say you're doing a pretty freaking amazing job speaking, by the way. I'm very impressed with the knowledge that you're dropping right now. So I do want to piggyback again off of what he said about the highlight reel. First 30 seconds, real important. If you're an attackman, you want to show a ride because college coaches want to see that you can ride. They want to see that you can score, but also assist. You can even show off-ball picks that you're doing to get a guy open that scores, and showing a little highlight bubble so the college coach knows that's you at the beginning of the clip always helps. If you're a midfielder, clearing the ball. College coaches want their middies to be able to clear the ball, getting ground balls, right? I'm sure that's same with face-off specialists. Like college coaches want to see that this midfielder can get a good ground ball and he can clear the ball from one sideline to the other or from one end line to the other, as well as scoring, assisting, and playing good defense. You might be the best offensive player in the world, but you're a defensive midi when you get to college. Like that happens often. So just keep that in mind. And if you're a defenseman, clearing the ball as well, getting good ground balls, playing good off-ball defense, playing good one-on-one defense. Those are all things. You don't want to just be one-dimensional, like Dylan said in the highlight film. All right, what else you got for us? If I research to school, how do I save it to my favorites? You just click on the little red heart, correct?
Yeah. So if I go to a school right now, so I would click on schools, and then if I have, I'll just go to well, if I go to right
One that
here,
you haven't
Mercer,
loved. Yeah.
I would click I would click unfavorite, but if I want to favorite them because there's something like they have my major and I'm interested, I would just click that and it adds it to my favorites right here. And then I can
Yeah.
look up Mercer.
And what's that video thing in the top right? Is that just where you upload your videos?
Yeah, this is the where you upload everything. You want to edit
Okay.
something on your account, you can edit.
Hold on. You can edit in IMLCA?
No, you can edit like your profile. Like if I was
Oh,
to like the
gotcha.
writing,
Okay.
and then you can go to other parts of your I'm sure like they're here. Like that's all the like how to contact me, that's everything. And then those are my club coaches. And then you can put your athletic, all the important athletic stuff right here, like my height, weight, my USA number, my athletic position, my additional stats, and then all the important stuff goes down here. As well
That's
with your
awesome.
tournaments, you put your tournament schedule right here. So I have the
Ah,
Chesapeake Cup that's coming up, and I would
that's a,
recommend doing that for
yeah. That's a big
everyone.
one, everyone. I would do that, like Dylan said. Go to your profile, add a new event, and put all your fall tournaments in there. You never know.
Even if it was showcases, I went to the Face Off Factory National Showcase, and I would put that because a lot of coaches went to that. And then even if you guest for teams, because I guested for a team for Naptown this past year, Cali Gold. So I would put up my Cali Gold team as well, even though I'm not actually technically on that team, like Naptown, just player with Cali Gold.
Is it easy to add an event? Do you just search the name and it like Sports Recruits already has like all the events in there, or do you have to
Yeah,
manually put it in?
I can like You just type it in like the Chesapeake Cup, put the
and
month,
it'll
day,
pop up.
city.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, you can put the URL, but that's not that important. They just like once they click on, they see what tournaments you're at, where and when,
Okay.
and
And then
then
it's
you can have a link. I'm sorry.
no, keep going.
And then you can have a like if you want to pin the video, like the first thing that is pinned to your account when you go. I have my summer highlights here, so when they pin, they see that. And then like athletic honors, you can have all your athletic honors, and then you can have other football played, and then you can go to academic. I'd say academic's probably the biggest part because that's something they look at. I'd probably say more than your actual lacrosse.
I
So
I
you can
noticed.
put you can
I
upload
noticed.
your pardon.
Sorry, go ahead.
You can
Upload.
like for us, you can physically upload your report card somewhere. So I like upgraded like uploaded my real report card. I don't know if every school has that, but
That's
you
pretty
can
cool.
put your academic honors and then you can put your extracurricular activities and then in seated major in area study.
So you would recommend, I would recommend even 10th graders going in there and doing that. Juniors definitely going in there and making sure all that's filled out. And something I noticed that
Yeah.
I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry, but I geek out over some of your stuff. I noticed you were a wrestler, and that does not surprise
Yeah.
me because great face-off guys are great wrestlers. What about the more button
Yeah.
in the top right? There are, I didn't
So
look into that a little bit. I saw there was a recruiting resource center, everybody, and I would recommend that you look into that because it had some good stuff.
yeah, I think this is a great tab if I go over here and share this. Like if I click on that and here, like they have all types of like articles on how to get recruited. So if I
Yeah.
go to like the college divisions, you can do like how to get recruited by a D1 coach. Like do they like it answers like all your questions. And then
Yeah.
D2, D3, and then even if I think it has club on you too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you want to play club or JUCO.
Yep. And that's something to understand. Like we live in Maryland and there are a lot of good junior colleges here, everybody. So if money is an issue or if just child doesn't really know exactly where he wants to be, going to a junior college like Anne Arundel Community College or Essex. I know Sammy is our 26 coach. He's the Essex Community College recruiting coach. He's amazing. Sammy's an amazing coach. So there's lots of great junior colleges. There's club colleges. So the point being, if you want to play NCAA Division 1, 2, or 3, and I'm just like, say I couldn't catch and throw, but I was still at like Old Mill High School, Serena Park High School, wherever, and I still was on the team and I loved it. And I wanted to play in college and just still have that experience. There is a college for everyone. There is a college for everyone. I can't believe. I think I saw it. I'm pretty good at remembering numbers. I feel like it said 312 Division II colleges. Everybody, when I was in college back in 1992 to 96, there were, I think, 37 Division II colleges. So it's a growing sport. There is a college for everyone. So what else do you have for us? I mean, I guess here's a question, Dylan. Do you feel like Sports Recruits was a good purchase that MDLL made for you? Or I don't know, maybe you did it yourself and your family bought it yourself. Do you feel like it's helped you? And if so, how has it helped you?
Oh, 100%. I think it helped me a lot because even in 10th grade, I would email like if I there was a special like if I wanted to go to Towson, I could email Towson, and even if I knew they couldn't contact me back because I knew if once they clicked onto it, it wouldn't tell me that they read the email, but it'd tell me that they looked at my profile. So that would tell me that they're interested in that. Like I don't know, just brought I guess that brought me a lot of joy, I guess.
It
And
helps
then
motivate you, right? It's a motivator,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And then you can like favorite certain colleges. I mean, I again just have like every single D1, but you can like favorite special colleges that you want to go to. It tells you all the colleges that view your profile or like sent message to you. Like it's just views like if they viewed a video or are committed somewhere. And then like you can spend like I one of my personal favorite things about this is how you can categorize school when messaging them. Like if you want to message a school that only needs a face-off guy or only has like a certain amount of people in the school that has your certain major, I think that's like great. I don't think like many other recruiting websites have that at all.
Being able to being
That's
able to filter down. How can you take us through
yeah.
one real quick again? How do we find like which schools are still looking for a midfielder that's a class of 27 or 26 or 25? How do you do that again?
Yeah, so if I'm up from activity, I would go to schools, and then from schools there should be a little search,
Oh, roster needs.
and then you would click roster needs. And then
Okay.
since my roster needs are face-off specialists, there's 140 schools that need a face-off specialist, 8 that potentially do, and then 990 that just need need positions in general.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's really cool. So being able to organize your emails and being able to email coaches quickly because it has access to all the emails already. When I was in college, I had to like look online and actually there wasn't the internet when I was in college. I'm dating myself. I see you laughing, Megan. So anyway, I kind of just playing around with it today. I kind of went down the rabbit hole of looking at a lot of videos. Like I went to St. Mary's College, my alma mater, and I saw there was a Broadneck kid, Noah something that's a senior midfielder or a senior defenseman. So you can see other people's highlight films, which also might give you a good understanding what a good highlight film is, and B, it's just fun and motivating, right? Like, oh, look at this kid. He committed. He's from Broadneck. I go to Broadneck. I want to be like him. So there is that intrinsic motivation as well, just by looking at, like the activity feed. I'd be looking at all those different videos. Hey, Dylan, are you willing to share with us like what schools you're looking at that you would love to like
Yeah.
potentially go to?
So right now I went to a camp that had the Towson coach, and I was talking to the Towson coach a little bit. So I'm gonna email him and try and get on campus with that. And then I have 2 visits right now, one with VMI and one with Mount St. Mary's. I'm leaning towards Mount St. Mary's right now, but I'm not in a rush to commit. I know some people like want to commit as soon as they go September 1st, but I just want to make sure I find the right school, so I don't really plan on committing soon.
Yeah. Does anybody have this? Was Dylan? I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes you get young men on a webinar like this, and they don't know how to talk, and they screw up. You were amazing, man. You exceeded expectations, and I really applaud you for how professional you were and how educational you were for all of us. Okay, so Tracy had 2 questions. How long will the 2026 boys have access to sports recruits? You'll have it. And well, I mean, I just looked at mine goes up on my 27 ends the 25th of September. So I'm assuming that you would just have to re-up it on the 25th of September. It's a good question. Maybe if you need more time, we can always extend it, and we'll talk to Colin about that. That's one of the reasons I love Colin so much is Colin does whatever it takes to make sure that all the players in this organization, get to whatever needs they're looking for. And then the second question was, so do they record tournaments? I know Colin has what's called a VO, so you can talk with him, or I can, and try to get your tournaments recorded. I am going to tournaments that for my 27 team that I know have recording there, and usually it's about $1,000. And the way we handle it, if it's not in the budget, like my team's super cheap this year because I got some sponsorships and we're doing like this a la carte model and all that. So my parents will pitch in like $20 each to get it filmed. I do think you can buy film. You just have to look at the tournament website to see if there's video there. And if there is, you can get it individually or you can go as a team.
Gotcha. Our last club that Liam was in bought the thing that looks like a spaceship. I don't know if that's the one
VO.
that videotapes up real high. So they did record all the games. I mean, I was just curious if MDL did that because we're new to the 26 North Baltimore, whatever they're.
Do you know what tournament you're in? I'm not even familiar with which tournament you're in the fall.
The Chesapeake Cup on Sunday.
And what else? Is that
The
it so far?
Halloween thing, the Halloween one.
Halloween Havoc?
Yeah, that.
Let me ask Colin and see if he has videos. I don't think he does, but I know he has a VO. And so if he has a VO, I would definitely think that you should have a record. Another thing you can do is I have a parent that's been recording games for us for years. So there might be a parent that's willing to videotape as well.
Oh, I have my own. I mean, I have my own video camera. I videotape them myself as well. I was just curious because they're probably better when they're higher than
It
me on
is.
the field. So.
Yeah, they have college. Like I'm in a couple tournaments. Like my team's traveling to New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and both of them have video things that we're just going to buy. So if the tournament in the summer, you'll definitely probably be in tournaments that have professional video. And I would strongly, you can certainly reach out to me, Tracy, and I can push the envelope with Colin and say we need to get videos for these teams for the summer for sure. Or we do like an a la carte thing. But yeah, I do agree with you that I love my parent, and he's not on here. Maybe he is. He's been amazing taking videos for us, but he doesn't, when you're on the, like you just said it, Tracy, when you're on the grass trying to videotape instead of a scaffold videotaping from up high, there's a big difference as far as like your highlights go. Any other questions? Yeah, I want to know out of my parent, TJ, is it just you or is it John on here? Or is it Kristen, Christy, Chris? Anyway,
it's me.
It is TJ. What's up, bud?
Yep. Hey.
Okay, so Dylan, do you have any other words of advice before we leave?
I guess one last thing. I guess don't be like discouraged when you don't get a call, because I guess they will come. Because like it's very rare to get a call on Stripper first. I was very surprised when I got calls, but yeah, just make sure to respond to emails.
Yeah, your hard work has paid off. And I did send a link before we get off. If you haven't saved it already in the chat box, if you scroll up a little bit, there are some email templates that you can use. That's straight from my guy, Justin Ward at Army. So he shared those with me. They might be in the are they in the resource center too, Dylan? Like email templates, ideas and stuff?
Yeah. They're emails sent out from IMCLA too that have webinars on how to send messages to coaches as well.
So
through the
yeah,
IMCLA.
there is that webinar series right there. That would be something to maybe dive down the rabbit hole too, parents and players. Well, listen, man, this was great. This was really good. This helped me out a lot, Dylan. So thank you for that. Parents that are on here, anybody that's going to watch this recorded webinar, we're probably going to build out a page on our MDLL Select website that has some recruiting resources as well, including some of these webinars we're doing. Just a couple things to remind everybody. December 7th, we are going to try to get 3 or 4 teams. We'll just combine, like, if I have 5 guys on my 27 team, Frederick, we have a West 27 team, we have a North 27 team. There's like 5 on every team. We'll travel down to the college at St. Mary's College and play in that tournament. It should be a lot of fun. The campus, if you have not been there, is absolutely, without a doubt, beautiful. It's right on the water. It's amazing facilities. So I would encourage you to go there. Coach is going to have a player walk around. I just talked to him last night. Coach Childs is going to have a player or players give us a tour of the facilities. And then when that tour is over, it'll be like around 3:30 p.m. at St. Mary's. And then the coaches will talk to us about what it's like to be a Division III lacrosse player. So I think it would be really fun. And the more MDLL players, the better. Let's represent well. And then the other thing is on the whatever date, I think it's October 8th, we're going to have a webinar with McDaniel College. And again, I'm trying to work with Coach Toomey, the head coach at Loyola, where he said he was going to let us come to a practice and watch it like on a Saturday or something like that. So we'll have access to Loyola's practice, hopefully, if he gets back to me. And then if they're allowed to in compliance, because Division I schools have some strict compliance rules, he did say as long as it's legal, his staff will talk to us as well about what it's like to be a Division I player. So with all that said, we're just trying to get some webinars, educate at all the levels. Essex Community College with Sammy and the new head coach, Brian Stewart, are also going to do a webinar for us. So you know kind of the ins and outs of junior college as well. All right. That's it. Thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it. Dylan, you are a freaking rock star, dude. I cannot thank you enough. You're awesome.
No problem. If you guys have any questions, you can email me. I don't care. I'll respond. I don't know if it shows my email, but I'll send it.
That's
I'll
awesome.
send it.
I can share it as well. Maybe I'll share it with the face. Oh, there you go. He got stage fright typing his email. There it is. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on, Dylan. I'll see you Sunday morning. Well, actually, we have 18 MDLL teams all at Chesapeake Cup. Every single MDLL team is playing at Chesapeake Cup this Sunday. So we'll see you guys Sunday. Good luck to everybody. That's it. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Good job,
Hey,
Dylan.
Coach.
Thank you, man. No, thank you. Seriously, you were awesome.
Wow.
See you, brother.
All right. See you.